Hi, I'm Jane Scon, and I'm the program coordinator for the reading program here at Ohio University. And I'm here with Tasha Attaway today, and we want to just give you some information about our Reading Masters and endorsement programs at Ohio University through the Patton College of Education.
And Dr. Scone is the expert on the program and all things reading, and I'm here to just provide some support and information about the application process and just to let you know that we're a friendly face here at Patton.
So first of all, we wanted to address the question, why become a literacy specialist? You're already here, so it can be assumed that you are interested in knowing the answer to this question and that maybe you already have your own reasons. But a few of the reasons that we have thought of is that there's a big focus on reading right now in the state of Ohio and in most states and even throughout the world. With the new research with the science of reading, there are new ways of approaching teaching reading that could help to make you more effective as an educator. It could give you credentials to get the job that you most want and to have an advantage in the job market. You'll gain more knowledge and skill in teaching reading and writing. And you'll have the opportunity to interact with other teachers, gaining insights from other people's experiences. And again, just positioning you within the new research in the science of reading to be more effective. So why Ohio University? Well, first of all, we're completely an online and asynchronous program, so it should fit well within any schedule. Secondly, you can complete it in 3 semesters or take courses at your own pace over a 5-year period. Anytime within 5 years that you complete it is fine. But if you want to get through, within 3 semesters, that's doable as well. And we work with you to make that as doable as possible within your own constraints and schedule. Another reason why Ohio University is that we've won quite a few awards. Our most recent was Intelligent.com's #1 online reading master's program in the United States, something that we're very proud of. Another reason is that the professors within our program are very responsive. That's the comment that we get again and again on our teacher evaluations, is that we respond quickly, we're caring and supportive, and we're committed to being that. As well as that, we also have a very dedicated support staff like Tasha and our other colleagues within um, all the parts of Ohio University that you interact with. We really try to make the program as accessible and responsive as possible so that you get your needs met and get the help and support that you need when you need it.
And I'm glad that you mentioned getting your needs met because our support is not just in the college, it's university-wide. So in addition to having some tutoring support if needed and academic supports, there also are support offices that are available to our online students, as in the Student Accessibility Services Office. If there is any kind of disability that you are living with and could use some help managing to complete your coursework, connect with that office, connect with them early, and they can help. We have a plethora of supports that are available university-wide, and they are available to you.
So in Ohio, as you know, we also have a reading endorsement program, which is an add-on to the teacher's license. And this continues to be something that is offered in the state of Ohio and is in high demand. There are even some positions where it's required to be hired. So this could be taken as part of the master's program because it is um, covered within the master's program, but it can also be taken as a separate program. And even if you take the endorsement program first, it's like 4 to 5 courses, depending on whether or not you've taken phonics before. And then if you decide within that 5-year period that you want to take the other 6 courses to complete the master's degree, you can do that as well. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to meet our faculty and see the people that you would be working with as professors. So first of all, Chris Kennedy, Dr. Chris Kennedy, who works within the program. He's a faculty advisor for the program, and he's also a faculty who teaches many of the courses. He's been a Bobcat since his undergrad. He did his undergrad program here. He did his master's program and his EDD program here. So he's a very committed Bobcat. He's also worked as a literacy coach, a literacy specialist, a reading intervention teacher. He taught first grade in his fellowship year. He did the fellowship program, which we'll talk about shortly. One thing that he's very committed to is the theory to practice model, which we need to know the theory, but we also need to have the option, the possibility of applying it as soon as possible. So that is very much what he adheres to in the way that he approaches teaching, as do we all. And our program is based within the clinical model and the professional development school model. So these kinds of theory to practice and practice to theory, that's something that we all very much adhere to. And then we have Dr. Stephanie Huang, and she's the newest addition to our team. She graduated from the University of Florida, and her specialization is curriculum and instruction. She loved teaching first and second grade and also spent a year teaching sixth grade English language arts. She's fairly recently relocated to Ohio, and she worked as a paraprofessional in a special education classroom. She loves teaching, and her research interests include teaching English to speakers of other languages and disciplinary literacy, content literacy, and critical pedagogy. And I'm Jane Scon, and I went into the teaching of reading in those early years because I loved reading and writing, and I loved working with children. So both of those things together, it seemed like a natural fit. In my early career, I taught children who had learning disabilities, primarily in the area of reading. So I'm very familiar with children who might find reading extra difficult for one reason or another. And so those are the children that I spent most of my early career working with. And so then I got my PhD at Ohio State University, and with a specialization in literacy, and my PhD is in teacher education. My interests are in learner first approach to teaching. So thinking about the student that you're working with, the student that's in front of you, and what their strengths and needs are, and meeting those strengths and needs. And I also, the connection of culture to language, identity, and learning are also important research interests that I have.
And I've tagged along, as I shared earlier, to help you learn about the application process. So there are 2 different applications. For the endorsement, you would complete a non-degree application because that one does not result in you holding a master's degree unless you choose to pursue that later down the road. So as a non-degree program, the endorsement is not eligible for federal financial aid. But with that being said, Ohio University's Office of the Bursar offers a payment plan. So that breaks up once you enter the program, you would receive a bill each semester. And so if you enter the payment plan, you can receive monthly bills instead of once a semester. And as well, the Office of the Bursar can accommodate any external funding sources. So for both the endorsement and for the master's degree, if your school or district offers professional development funding, we can accommodate those for both of those programs. Now, for the master's degree, you will complete a degree seeking application. And that master's degree program is eligible for federal financial aid. But with that being said, that federal aid primarily takes the form of loans. But when you complete your application, it's a good idea to at the same time complete the free application for federal student aid, that FAFSA, because that establishes a baseline of eligibility for many financial aid programs and scholarships as well. So it's a good practice to do that. And I'll ask Dr. Scon to talk about the application requirements.
So to be eligible for the program, you need to have a teaching license, and for the endorsement program, specifically an Ohio teaching license. That is necessary for Ohio to grant the endorsement. But if you're interested in the master's program without the reading endorsement, any teaching license fits that requirement. You also need transcripts that demonstrate that you've taken 12 credit hours in the teaching of reading. Those two things are the only requirements for the reading endorsement. But if you want the reading master's degree, you will also need to submit 3 letters of reference, a professional or academic writing sample, a personal statement, and transcripts that show a 3-point GPA.
And I like to add just a little bit to this, just to encourage you to think beyond the typical of what you include in your personal statement. Now, the academic writing sample or professional writing sample, that is pretty much self-explanatory. It could be a paper that you did previously. It could be something that you produced for publication if you are in that track professionally. That is required because obviously if you're going to teach reading, you have to be able to read and write well yourself. But for the personal statement, that is your chance to let the program faculty know about you. You're introducing yourself to the faculty and telling them both why you would be a good fit for this program, why you are interested in literacy as a field and what your goals are in that field, so that if there are opportunities to tailor any materials in your studies, that they'll have that information and they'll be able to steer you in the correct direction to make sure that your goals are met, because that's what we want, is for you to succeed in the program and for your goals to be met as well. And one more thing about the personal statement is, if for any reason there is something that is in your transcript that doesn't quite meet the requirements. So let's say you had a 2.99. You can definitely address that in your personal statement. Tell why you missed that mark, because typically there is a reason for that. Let them know why you have just basically why it happened, how you overcame that, and what you plan to do to remain successful. And the other thing that I also wanted to talk about is those letters of reference, because a lot of times after you've been out of school for a while, you may not have stayed in touch with the same faculty with whom you studied. And if that is the case, you can definitely include letters of reference from colleagues who know your work style well, and any supervisors, principals, or if you know superintendents. The key thing is that you want those letters of reference to come from people who know you, who know your work ethic, and who can speak toward your ability to succeed at graduate level coursework.
So we also have a fellowship program, and this is a wonderful program that is offered by the Patton College of Education. It gives you the opportunity to co-teach with a mentor teacher at Ohio University Professional Development Schools while you earn your master's degree. So this is done in a number of different ways. Often it's half day is the co-teacher that you're working with, and half day would be your time to teach. It's available to any master's degree student that holds an Ohio teaching license and that is admitted. That it's offered exclusively around the Ohio University region, so you would need to probably live in this area in order to do this. It's wonderful too because your coursework is covered, and you also earn a stipend during those 3 semesters that you serve as a teaching fellow. This is also exclusive to full-time students, so you'd have to carry a full load and do the 3 semester approach to be eligible for the fellowship program.
And I just have to say that it is truly a great opportunity. It's basically the equivalent of a graduate assistantship, but you're serving as a teacher, doing what you love and helping audiences in this area who really need passionate teachers to help them.
So if you have any other questions, please let us know. We're happy to respond quickly, and if you want to talk with us, we can arrange that as well. Email that you can reach us at would be onlinegrad@ohio.edu, elearning@ohio.edu, and if you would like to reach me, I'm Skon, Skon @ohio.edu.
And like Dr. Scott said, we are very responsive. We all want to help you succeed and to reach the path that will help you best meet your goals. So on behalf of Dr. Scott, I just want to say thank you for joining us. There are no stupid questions. Reach out if you have any at all, and we would love to help you reach your professional goals.
Thank you.